Hey guys, this is Perry McCall18, and yeah, I'm doing another commentary. In this latest installment of my commentaries I'm gonna make a commentary on Buffy Zillaman number 4, a.k.a. Ben. Now, the reason why I'm gonna be making a commentary on him is because he has a tendency to bash on certain shows that doesn't really appeal to him, but in a way to just irritate some people and may cause an argument. Also, I had kind of promised a certain YouTuber named Milkman2679Z that I was going to do a commentary on him. Well, just because he had, some of his rants, it just kind of really threw me off in some points and really kind of upsetted me. However, there are some parts of his rants I actually agree with, and I will admit he does have some decent videos to view. So I'm just gonna skip all the stuff that I agree with him about certain things, and I'm just gonna get to the part where he just messes up. So without further ado, let's begin this crap.
A while ago in an art class, a woman from an Illinois art college came to our school, and she gave a presentation in art class. And she showed us some of the stuff a lot of the students at the school made. So, before she showed us one cartoon, she told us that it reminded her of the old Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons. And so, she put me in the frame of mind thinking, you know what, this is probably going to be good. So then she played it, and it was in CGI 3D animation. Typical.
For those of you who are trying to figure out why he was all like, typical, it's because he thinks CGI and 3D animation and stuff like that is a little too realistic for him, and kind of reminds him of too much reality and stuff.
And all I saw was this talking rabbit and a mushroom, I think it was, and an eyeball comes up, and the rabbit is like, you know what, Augie, you can't exactly do anything. And so the rabbit stabs the eyeball with a cactus. The eyeball gets up and runs away, runs into a tree, and that was it. What the truck was that? You call that a cartoon? Oh, that made me so angry. One, it made absolute no sense. Even though it's a cartoon, it can at least have a story. Two, what? The characters were unlikable and they didn't have any character whatsoever. And three, how dare she compare the Roadrunner cartoons to that piece of junk?
Ben, I don't think she was trying to compare anything. She was just showing you what they do at the college. It's just an example, so it doesn't necessarily need a story to it.
So then after I had to sit through other craptastic cartoons, I asked her politely, do you have any 2D animation at her school? And you know what she told me? Yes, we do. But if I were smart, I would take a 3D course. Do you know what that meant? She said only if I was smart, I would take a 3D course. What the heck's that supposed to mean? That dumb people take 2D courses?
If that's true, just call her an ignoramus. It's very simple.
Which brings me to today's rant. Modern cartoons. I am sick and tired of modern animation. You know, the golden age of animation, in my opinion, started in the 20s and ended in the 80s. But there have been a few exceptions where 90s and 2000s cartoons I have liked, but most of them have been crap. So, what is it about modern cartoons that tick me off so much? One, it feels that animators aren't even trying to be creative anymore. It's like their imagination has died. What happened? It's unbelievable. They're not even trying to try new things anymore. They just copy other people. Where's the imagination? Where's the creativity? Where is everything?
It's probably right under your nose, dude. You just gotta find it.
Another thing is they dumbed down modern animation for little kids. Oh my gosh. I'm dead serious. Thanks to modern animation, they turn animation into a child's medium. I rant about them in my miscellaneous rants videos. Basically, they make you feel embarrassed to admit you like cartoons, because then somebody would say, "You like cartoons? Cartoons are for little kids."
If someone really did ask that, you just simply say, "Here's a better question. Have you checked out Family Guy, South Park, Metalocalypse, The Boondocks? Have you seen those? If not, then you really gotta check them out, and you know, find out for yourself if they are really for children, dipstick."
Which is just sad, which is just plain sad. But they also make cartoons that are for adults, and those cartoons are just as bad. Why? Because they rely on sexual humor, which isn't funny.
In your opinion, but not the adults who actually like that kind of stuff.
They also abuse the pop culture references. Oh my gosh, there's a celebrity. I'm gonna laugh at it just because they're there. Ha ha ha. No. No. Just because a celebrity is in a cartoon, a celebrity just pops out of nowhere in a cartoon, that doesn't mean it's funny. I don't go somewhere and see a celebrity in real life and just die of laughter, because it's not funny if they're just there. They have to, if they did something that parodies something they did in real life, then it's funny. For example, The Simpsons does that all the time. In one episode where Bart is he has a broken leg and he's spying on people through a telescope, he comes across a Jimmy Stewart, and then Jimmy Stewart's like, "Hey, Grace, that little kid looks suspicious." That's funny because it's a reference to Rear Window.
Don't forget that South Park and Family Guy does the same thing, because basically they basically use a lot of references to some celebrities and shows also, but in their own kind of twisted way of some sort. For example, from Family Guy, they make references from Spider-Man, Star Wars, Star Trek, G.I. Joe, and a variety of those kind of shows. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't South Park make references to The Lord of the Rings and 300? You see, it actually goes to show you that The Simpsons isn't the only show that makes references to other shows and movies.
Simpsons is an example of an adult show I like, because it doesn't abuse its power of being an adult show. It's actually for everybody, because it doesn't rely on stinking cussing, and the pop culture references make sense, and it also has its own brand of humor, which I like to call unexpected humor.
Okay, just to clarify something, The Simpsons isn't the only show that uses, this so-called unexpected humor. Turns out the shows that were previously mentioned in this video, and also Chowder, SpongeBob, and at times Teen Titans, they also use their own kind of unexpected humor.
When you think something is about to happen, something else happens that you don't expect. But anyway, adult cartoons, I just don't like them. There are some I like, South Park, Futurama, The Simpsons, but the rest I just can't stand. Because, you know what I mean. You know why, I just told you. I get made fun of all the time because of the cartoons I watch. Well, I'm just a normal kid at school. Kids come up and ask me, "Hey Ben, what kind of shows do you watch?" I say like, "Oh, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker, whatnot." And they're like, "Ha ha, you like little kid shows, ha ha."
It's always best to just ignore the kind of crap that they say. But if they just keep persisting and persisting over and over again, just simply flip them the bird and tell them that they're just judgmental assholes. That's all you gotta do.
No. Then I had to explain this. Back then, when cartoons were made, they were made for adults and shown in movie theaters, because little kids weren't going to go to the movie theaters with their parents. Those cartoons were made for adults, and they were good cartoons, because one, they didn't rely on sex humor, which because it's not funny.
Again, in your opinion, but not the adults who really like those kind of references.
Well, actually, they did. They featured things that a kid wouldn't find funny, but an adult would. Like Tex Avery cartoons. A kid wouldn't understand why an adult's staring at Red Hot Riding Hood, but an adult would, and it's funny.
Okay, is it me or did Ben kind of contradicted himself? I would really like to know. Could somebody please tell me? Because it seems to me that it really seems to me that he's complaining about sexual preferences and stuff like that. But then when he talks about Tex Avery cartoons, doing those kind of stuff, he thinks it's funny. Can somebody please tell me if they agree with me on this contradiction here?
Those are the kinds of cartoons that smart people watch.
Wait, what? Are you actually being serious? If so, then I find what you say is pretty ignorant. You seem to be saying that if I watch Chowder and not Tom and Jerry, I'm an idiot. If I watch Family Guy and not Popeye, I am not smart. And if I watch Teen Titans and not Woody Woodpecker, then I have no logic. I would never use logic. Okay, just to clarify something, intelligence has nothing to do with liking a certain show. Interest does. Stating something like that may give someone the wrong idea that the old school shows are the only way to make yourself smarter. There are shows these days that may help the brain receive the needs to grow. And not just from educational programs, not that. For example, in a cartoon, Ed, Edd and Eddy, a very intelligent character named Ed, a.k.a. Double D, does mention certain things that's actually knowledgeable. Like the time that the trio had to babysit Jimmy for Sarah, and then Double D mentioned, little brothers mimic and learn from the older siblings to understand how to overcome certain obstacles. Or something like that. So don't think that all modern cartoons are brain-sucking leeches bent on ruining kids' chance to get a diploma in life.
So anyway, I just can't stand modern cartoons. You know what? I ranted about the animation style, like I ranted about CGI in another video, so you know about that. But gosh, modern cartoons also, yeah, the modern cartoons that are focused for children, they rely on something else. Fart jokes. Every modern cartoon I watch that's for kids, all I hear, it's nothing but fart jokes and stupid humor.
I don't think so, Ben. Correct me if I'm wrong, but some modern cartoons like Kick Patowski and also My Gym Partner's a Monkey doesn't rely on fart jokes too often. Sure, they do certain points of an episode, but they don't really focus on them entirely. Kick Patowski, for example, Kick Patowski's humor focuses on crazy and extreme stunts, which is awesome. And My Gym Partner's a Monkey's humor is about a boy trying to fit in and getting used to animals in nature at a school full of, you guessed it, animals. If they did rely on fart jokes as often as you claim, I doubt that many people would watch the shows for a long time. As for stupid humor, I really don't mind as long as the show does it right. If you need an example of stupid humor, check out South Park, Ed, Edd and Eddy, or fucking Excel Saga. Oh, what? I can't involve an anime show? Come on! It can't be just about a miracle all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's not funny. Bodily functions are not funny.
Yeah, your opinion would definitely differ if Homer Simpson did some bodily functions, wouldn't it?